Today, we are going to be talking about things that you need to consider before you buy a new home. And by the way, can be for newbies, this can be for first-time home buyers, this can be for anyone else. Yes, I am going to be sharing with you things that you should be considering before you're actually buying a new home. And basically why I'm talking about this is because quite a lot of people have asked me to say, TJ, I know we're talking about investments, but can you just cover something, please, about things that we need to consider before we actually buy a home? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk about it. So I'm going to give you around about 7 or 8 things that you should be considering. And I'm hoping that is going to be beneficial for you, whether this is your first time home or whether this is going to be number 2 for you, or maybe you're thinking of moving. It doesn't really matter, but at least you need to consider these things. I did consider all of these things when I was starting off, and that list has grown for me. And the house that we are staying in right now, my wife and I, this house has saved us very well. It has become a home for us. And both our kids are growing nicely in it, and we appreciate it, and we're not squashed and things like that. But we actually have plenty of space. So the house has evolved as we have evolved as well. And what are those things? So number 1, pick an area or pick areas, right? So you want to pick an area where you are comfortable. How do you pick an area? Well, maybe you grew up there, and that's okay. Well, for me, I didn't have that opportunity. I actually migrated, and I'm like in a different town, a very big town. And how do you now start to see which one is a good area? If you're employed, a lot of people want to stay closer to work. And I always ask the questions, what if your job circumstances changes? But that might be for you. So you want to stay close to work, so that's okay. It's not my place. But for me, that won't be my criteria. So pick an area or pick areas. Start digging in to see the basic stuff in that area. What does the lifestyle look like in that area? How easily is it accessible to schools? How easily, if you're going to be having kids, how easily is it accessible to pets? How easy is it friendly to pets? How easy is it to any of these things that you may like? Is there a church where you like to go? So there's many things that how far is it from the airport if you're one of those people that fly quite a lot? So all of these things you need to consider. So picking an area that has all of these things on board becomes very important. But if you fail to do that, then you might be miserable in that area. And by the way, what is the crime rate in that area? Because you don't want to stay in a jail house that is full of burglar bars everywhere. Yeah. But nonetheless, that's point number 1. Point number 2, I don't know how to stress this, but I'm going to say it anyways and try to stress it. You need to define your budget. You need to define the budget, and then when you define the budget, then you go and buy. How do you define this budget? Well, we did the reverse of this. Shortly before I got married, my wife and I, we were dating, and at the time she had her own house, I had my own house, and we both understood that both of our houses were not the houses that we wanted to live in when we get married. So for that reason, we looked into our budget and said, well, we want to go and buy property. So we didn't actually. But the real estate agent actually made a budget for us, because she said to us, oh, how much do you earn, Mrs. and Mr.? And well, at the time it wasn't Mrs. and Mr. We're just boyfriend and girlfriend. And she then says, oh, so you qualify for X. And we're like, yeah, we do. You can do that homework for yourself. And I want to urge you to say that if you're a married couple, for instance, how do you make sure that you are buying in a bulletproof? So if both husband and wife is earning 10,000 and the other one is 15,000, maybe you need to look for a house that has a budget of 15,000. and make sure that the other one who's earning the 12,000 becomes the bulletproof of the household. It's just an idea, but we all do budgets differently. But whatever budget you are going to do, it's a consideration. It's not a must. It's a consideration. Number 3, buy for long term. I'll give you an example. I live in a 4-bedroom house, all in suite. And when we moved in here, we knew that we were going to have kids. When we moved in here, we knew that we were going to have visitors. So we already bought with the end in mind of we are going to be here 5 years, we're going to be here 10 years. Our kids are going to grow here. So we bought for a long term. We knew that there's a high school in the area for our kids, when they grow up, they can have a high school close by. We knew that there's a good primary school. So by the time, if we hadn't had any kids by that time, then it basically means that at the time, our kids would have had educational places to go to. Does it make sense? Right. Number 4, buy a home that fulfills your needs. I don't know what your needs. Maybe you're a garden person, so look for a house with a garden. Or maybe you're an animal person, like my older brother. He's got German shepherds and things like that. So buying a home that doesn't allow you to have such kind of a pet, and you already have that pet, then your life is not going to be fulfilling. So you can't be staying on the 4th floor when you have a German shepherd. It doesn't just make sense. Now you need to downgrade to a Chihuahua. Oof. All my Chihuahua friends are going to be like, hey, TJ, Chihuahuas are more expensive than a German shepherd. Hey, by the way, this is a channel that talk about anything and everything about real estate, not dogs. I'm going to say, no matter what, stick to the budget. Yes, it is a point. I know we spoke about the budget earlier on, but I'm saying now, no matter what, stick to the budget. Point number 6, do your research. Go and view as many properties that you can. It does not cost you money to view. They don't charge you for viewing. Call the estate agent, go and view. It's their job to allow you to go and view. Point number 7, before you actually go out and view properties, and before you fall into the same trip that Genevieve and I fell into, where the estate agent gave us a budget, what you now need to do is find the right bank for your bond. So you want to find the right bank that's going to back you up when you put in that application. Right? Because not all banks are good for you. Some of them are quite deep. The next point is negotiate. This is all about the property. So you've seen the price of the property. It is 400,000. That's what they are looking for. It doesn't mean that's what it's worth. You can negotiate 300. You can negotiate 350. You can negotiate when the property now goes to the bank. You can also ask the bank, maybe they give you an interest rate of 5% or 7%. You can also negotiate the interest rate. You can also negotiate the transfer fees. You can also negotiate kind of like everything. Yep. Provided you have the negotiation muscle. Right. Okay, cool. Point number last, and this is a bonus. Yep. My bonus to you is that when you find the house, buy it and make it a home. Sometimes we buy a property, we don't see what we can do with the future. I have chopped and changed our house that we stay in. And over a period of time, it has become our house. We've put in carpets, we've put in tiles, we've changed the windows, we've changed the ceilings, we have put in an office, we have changed the bathing rooms. We have changed so many things from the time that we bought this house approximately 10, 12 years ago. And now it is a home that we enjoy staying in, and it keeps us warm in winter. Yes, you never see me anywhere else other than close to the fire in this house. So guess what? These are the things that you can consider before buying a new home. Not always will you get everything that you're going to need, but at least consider these things that I've just spoken about before you buy your home. The next question that we want to ask ourselves is, because this channel here is not about to give you information about where to buy, when to buy. That's not really the thing on this channel. We are all talking about investments, properties here. But you ask the question, my job is to answer. Thank you for watching. And by the way, if there is anything else that you'd like me to speak about in the comments, hit me up with that question and I will definitely talk about it. Again, thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video.